Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about IUGR. IUGR is intrauterine growth retardation. You must have come across this term as a complication of various clinical conditions occurring during pregnancy. So today we'll talk about this condition in detail. IUGR is also known as some other names like dysmaturity, small for date fetus, small for gestational age fetus, and chronic gestational insufficiency. So these are various synonyms or the other names of IUGR, but it is most commonly known as IUGR. Now, definition. What is IUGR? It is said to be present in those babies whose birth weight is below the 10th percentile of the average for the gestational age. IUGR is possible in preterm, term, and post-term babies. This means it is not like that you will find IUGR only in the preterm babies because the delivery is occurring before full term. Only in those cases you will find IUGR. It is not like that. According to the age of pregnancy, however, should be the weight of the fetus. If it is not there, the condition is IUGR. એટલે જેટલા પણ પ્રેગ્નન્સીના મંથ્સ હોય 4, 5, 6, 7 એ મંથ્સ પ્રમાણે એ ડ્યુરેશન ઓફ પ્રેગ્નન્સી પ્રમાણે ફિટસનું જે વેઇટ હોવું જોઈએ એના કરતાં 10th percentile જેટલું ઓછું હોય તો એને કહેવાય IUGR. એટલે પ્રી ટર્મ પ્રેગ્નન્સીમાં પણ હોય, ટર્મ પ્રેગ્નન્સીમાં પણ હોઈ શકે અને પોસ્ટ ટર્મ પ્રેગ્નન્સીમાં પણ બેબીઝમાં પણ તમને જોવાનું મળે. Now the incidence of this condition. It is seen in 16% cases in India against 5 to 8% in the Western countries. India is still a developing country, so the incidence is high because the people are not health conscious. They don't go to the hospitals, so they don't go for the medical checkups off and on. That's why the incidence is higher compared to the Western countries. 2/3 of low birth weight babies are IUGR. So whenever the birth weight is low, there are various causes of low birth weight. One of them is preterm babies and the other cause is IUGR. So about 2/3 cases of the low birth weight babies are IUGR. There are two different clinical grades of the IUGR, mild IUGR and severe IUGR. Mild means the growth deficit is 4 weeks or more. It is 4 weeks or more but maybe less than 6 weeks. That is mild IUGR. And severe means the growth deficit is 6 weeks or more. That is severe IUGR. Now clinical types. There are two types of IUGR, symmetrical and asymmetrical. First we see what is symmetrical IUGR. It occurs due to fetal defect. So the cause of symmetrical IUGR is the fetal defect. The fetus is hypoplastic. Hypoplastic means incompletely developed. It is underdeveloped. That fetus is called hypoplastic fetus. So what happens here? At the time of organogenesis, when the organs of the fetal body are developing, there is reduction in the number of the cells of the organs. So actual number of the cells decrease. Because of that, the overall size of the organ decreases. The organ becomes smaller in the size. And when this happens in all different organs of the fetal body, the overall size of the fetus also becomes smaller in the size. So symmetrical IUGR is due to fetal defect. It is seen since early pregnancy because organogenesis occurs in the first trimester. Say at about 2nd, 3rd month you will find organogenesis. So at that time these develop, so it is seen since early pregnancy. Pathologic process is intrinsic to fetus. The pathologic process is intrinsic to the fetus, that is it is inside the fetus. The placenta is small in size, poor weight of the fetus, thin cord and poor amount of the amniotic fluid. So these you will find along with the symmetrical IUGR. This type of IUGR is prevailing in the 10% cases. So 10% IUGR babies are symmetrical IUGR. Now the other clinical type is asymmetrical IUGR. It is due to fetal growth defect. Fetus does not grow sufficiently in the intrauterine life, and this will lead to the asymmetrical IUGR. So malnourished fetus, the fetus is malnourished, not getting nutrition from the mother. Later on we will talk about the etiology of the symmetrical and the asymmetrical IUGR, but here the IUGR is due to the fetal growth defect. It develops during second half or later months of the pregnancy. That means in the early months of pregnancy, in the first trimester, the growth of the fetus was satisfactory. But when the fetus enters the second trimester or when fetus reaches the third trimester of pregnancy, the growth deficit will start due to the malnutrition, and this will result into asymmetrical IUGR. The pathologic process is extrinsic to fetus, and about 95% cases of the IUGR are asymmetrical IUGR. So asymmetrical IUGR is more common than the symmetrical IUGR because the cause of the asymmetrical IUGR is malnutrition, and you will find malnutrition very commonly among the mother. So because the mother by herself is malnourished, she cannot nourish her fetus sufficiently, and this will result into asymmetrical IUGR. Now the etiology of IUGR. The causes of both symmetrical and asymmetrical IUGR differ. So we'll talk about them separately. First, etiology of symmetrical IUGR. Genetic anomalies. They are chromosomal anomalies. First is Down syndrome. Down syndrome is usually due to trisomy of the chromosome. In any pair of the chromosome, when instead of 2 there are 3 chromosomes, when there is trisomy, then Down syndrome will develop. In this syndrome, the fetus develops mongoloid features, short phalanges, widened space between the first and second toe fingers, and moderate to severe mental retardation. Right? So these happens in Down syndrome. Another is Turner syndrome. Turner syndrome is due to the chromosomal defect, like chromosomal genotype is X0, 45 plus X. So it is the female type. That is a Turner syndrome. So it is the gonadal dysgenesis that you have studied in the second year class. It is marked by short stature, undifferentiated gonads, and variable abnormalities that may include webbing of the neck, low posterior hairline, increased carrying angle of the elbow, and cubitus valgus. These are the other features of the Turner syndrome. You may find dwarfism as a cause of symmetrical IUGR, where the size of the fetus is abnormally low. It is undersized fetus, abnormally undersized fetus. That is dwarfism. The cause may be achondroplasia, where you will find hereditary congenital disorder. So it will lead to the dwarfism. Dwarfism-like features are developing in the achondroplasia. That is one cause, genetic anomalies. Second is severe congenital anomalies with cardiovascular malformation. And the third is maternal infection. Various maternal infections may lead to IUGR, like rubella. Rubella is the German measles. Second one is cytomegalovirus infection. It will also lead to IUGR. Toxoplasmosis caused by toxoplasma. So it also produces characteristics central nervous system lesion, where there can be blindness, brain defects. Sometimes the fetus may even die due to that. Syphilis and malaria. So these are the maternal infections, and these are the causes of the symmetrical IUGR. Now we come to the etiology of asymmetrical IUGR. Why asymmetrical IUGR develops? Very common cause of it is maternal malnutrition. The mother is malnourished. Now malnourishment of the mother may occur due to different reasons, like inadequate food. The mother is coming to the or belonging to the poor class. She does not have sufficient nutritious food to have. So due to lack of food, lack of the nutritious food, the mother will be malnourished. Suppose if the mother belongs to higher class but not taking nutritious food, crazy behind the junk food, so at that time also you will find malnutrition. The mother is taking food but the nutrition is not there, so inadequate food. Another is nutritional anemia. As I said you that mother is not taking nutritious food, so nutritional anemia also leads to malnutrition. Then overwork, very common cause of the maternal malnutrition. Nowadays the women are working, they have the work stress, so on the other side of hard work they don't take nutritious food, so it will also lead to the maternal malnutrition, right? Then poor maternal weight gain during pregnancy, one of the causes of maternal malnutrition. So these will lead to maternal malnutrition and leading to asymmetrical IUGR. Second cause is poor uteroplacental supply system. That means from mother's uterus or via the uterus, via placenta, the things are not supplied to the fetus sufficiently. There are different factors for that. Like first is maternal factors. If you go in detail of these maternal factors, pregnancy induced hypertension, PIH, very common maternal factor. PIH especially causing toxemia of pregnancy. If you have gone through toxemia of pregnancy in detail, one of the complications of toxemia to the fetus is IUGR, because due to toxemia the supply to the fetus is affected, it may be unsatisfactory, and so resulting IUGR will be there. So PIH is very important maternal factor. Say then chronic hypertension. Hypertension is since before pregnancy. These also affects the fetus supply and leading to IUGR. Chronic renal disease. When the mother is having severe chronic renal disease, kidney affection, also leads to IUGR. Chronic hypoxia in heart disease. Sufficient oxygen is not there and that is not supplied to the fetus sufficiently. When mother goes at high altitude oxygen concentration reduces, so sufficient oxygen cannot be supplied to the fetus, which is very important for the fetal growth also, and that results into IUGR. When the woman has sickle cell anemia, mother herself is anemic. Prolonged drugging, prolonged use of the drugs also cause adverse effect to the fetal growth. That's why the drugs intake are restricted when the woman is pregnant, or whenever the woman is pregnant, she should not take any drug by her own. She should consult a doctor first whenever she has any complaint before taking any medicine, because certain medicines when taken repeatedly, when taken in the higher dose, may cause adverse effect to the growing fetus, and as a result IUGR can develop, right? So prolonged drugging can also lead to IUGR. Then habit of heavy smoking. When the pregnant woman is a heavy smoker, that's why smoking is prohibited. Smoking should not be done. It should be avoided during pregnancy because it causes the negative effect to the growing fetus. Then alcoholism. Again, a habit of consuming alcohol leads to IUGR. So these are various maternal factors. Next is placental factor. Important in that is APH, antepartum hemorrhage. It can occur due to placenta previa or accidental separation of the placenta, that is abruptio placenta. So both these conditions where placenta is affected, so the supply to the fetus is also affected, leading to IUGR. Third is fetal factor, multiple pregnancy, where more than one fetus are growing in the uterus at the same time. So mother has to supply 2-3 fetuses, however number of fetuses are present, to all of them the mother has to supply. And when the mother does not have sufficient storage of nutrients in her body, she cannot supply it to the fetuses. So it will lead to IUGR. So again, if you have studied multiple pregnancy, you will find that in the multiple pregnancy, sometimes one of both, if it is twins, may be growth retarded. One fetus is growing sufficiently, but the other is growth retarded. That is due to this fetal factor. Prolonged pregnancy. If pregnancy prolongs, again mother cannot supply to the both or all the three fetuses, and this will also lead to the IUGR. That is, you can say asymmetrical IUGR occurring in the later months of the pregnancy. If pregnancy prolongs up to some time, initial phase the growth was normal, satisfactory, but when pregnancy prolongs, the storage is limited, resulting IUGR will be there, right? Extrauterine pregnancy, another fetal factor. Uterus is the more suitable site for development of the fetus, but if it is ectopic pregnancy, if it is extrauterine pregnancy, pregnancy is outside the uterus, then also it may result into IUGR. And one more factor is miscellaneous. When the mother is small means in size, habitual small baby, the woman has history of having the small babies earlier also, so she is likely to get IUGR in the subsequent pregnancy. When the mother is young primigravida or elderly primigravida. Young primigravida means teenage woman before the age of 19 years. We have discussed earlier also, before 19 years the woman's body is not ready to have conception, right? So when mother becomes pregnant before the age of 19 years, it is high risk pregnancy. It can lead to IUGR because mother physically by herself is not ready for conception, not ready for carrying pregnancy or carrying the fetus, so she cannot supply proper nutrition to the fetus and will lead to IUGR. At the same time, elderly primigravida, when the first pregnancy is after 30-35 years, this can also lead to IUGR. So these are various causes of symmetrical and asymmetrical IUGR. We'll talk about further in IUGR next time. Thank you.